Walter Hagen once said that every golfer should expect to hit bad shots, and he was right. Hitting bad shots is part of the game. Knowing how to recover from bad shots or how to scramble can help you shoot good scores on days when you need to get yourself out of trouble. This tape will help you become a better scrambler and a better overall player. Now, I can't do it all myself, so I brought along a few of my friends to help me out. And I'd like for you to meet them, starting with Chris Ferguson. Al Miller. Bill Morey. Al Regal. And Chuck Strong. That was a nice tee shot, but you've got yourself a dandy little lie here.
Yeah, I thought this game was easier from the fairway.
Well, it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be. But don't be intimidated just because your ball's sitting here in a divot. It's a very simple little golf shot. I think one thing with amateur golfers is that they get scared to death when they see something like this. Oh, it's not grass. What do I do? Tell you what you can do, Al. There's a couple little things. Now, basically, I like to play just a little bit of a fade shot, which means the ball's going to move left to right.
All right.
All right. I do a couple little things here. One is I play the ball back in the stance just a little bit. Open my stance, left of your target.
Okay.
All right? Now, I move my weight to my left side, because what I want to do is create a little steeper angle coming into this ball, because we have to go down on it to get the ball up in the air. That's what makes it get up in the air, is to hit down on behind the ball to shoot up. And it's very simple. It's the same golf swing. All I'm doing is moving my weight to my left side to help this club go up at a more of an abrupt type angle.
Okay.
So that I can get a little more bite down behind the ball.
Okay.
All right? I'm going to hit this for you here. I
Great.
think I can do it. A little left. Weight on the left side here. All right? Pick her up just a smidge. You want to try this?
Absolutely. I'll try anything.
Let me get you a decent lie here in this hole.
Now,
all right?
put it up. Don't put it down.
Yeah, I won't do it. I'm going to give you a similar lie what I just had there. Right in the divot. All right?
Okay. I'll give it a whirl.
Okay. Now, don't try to help the ball out of that hole. Just take your normal little swing. Put your weight up on your left side. There.
Left side, further back in the stance, right?
Right. Now, just relax and play just a little bit of a fade. It's fading.
It came out.
It's not bad. You almost drew water with that one. Let's go get them.
Okay.
All right. Let's review what we just learned. Open your stance, play the ball back. Put your weight more on your left side and hit down on the ball to make it go up. A little different type shot we have here.
Yes, it is. Close to the fairway, but not quite.
A little short rough, right against the fringe of the fairway and a short rough. What do you do? 2 or 3 things you can do. One is, while your playing partners are on the other side of the fairway, you can yell at them, tell them, look at those birds over there, and kick it out, you know? Or we could just play a little type golf shot here. Now, I think the biggest tendency for amateur golfers is that they try to get into this thing, Al, and try to hit just like a normal little type golf shot. And what happens is they'll hit the high rough, and then they'll pull the ball over here in the left field. All right? Now, the secret to this shot is try to play a little bit of a fade shot. All right? Let that club go down that line. All right? Basically, it's similar to hitting out of a divot out of the fairway. All right?
Yep.
Open your stance just a little bit, and instead of letting the club come back to the inside around this grass here, take the club a little bit more abrupt to the outside and go right along the cut of the land here, as we say. And it's again, don't do anything any different. Golf's tough enough, and we don't need to make it any tougher than what it really is.
Don't get too creative.
Let me pop one here for you here. All right, aim just a little left of your target, okay, which is about the way the grass line's running here. All right, put a little weight just towards your left side, and then I'll bring that club a little bit more abrupt and outside just a little bit, and then hit just a little bit of a fade. It's a very simple little shot. You want to try this?
Sure.
All right. Put yourself in there, right up against it there. I think the key to it is don't try to help that ball, all right? Go ahead and just take a normal swing. Just kind of let that club go right down the line of this cut of our short rough here.
Okay.
All right? You have an awful good lie here, you know that.
Yeah, well, I got to set it down.
It's a good one. Good shot.
Thank you.
Let's go. Wasn't that tough, was it? Set up open to your target so you can bring the club into the ball from the outside and avoid getting tangled in the rough. Shift your weight to the left at address and allow for a fade. And most importantly, don't try to lift the ball into the air. Oh, mercy.
Bill, I'm awfully glad this is your shot and not mine.
Gee, thanks,
Good luck.
Appreciate it.
Well, Bill, once again, we put her in a very difficult position, a dreaded long bunker shot. What are a few tips that you can give them as a teaching professional to help an amateur get that ball out of there?
Well, what I'd tell them, Fuzz, is first of all to choke up on that club a little bit, dig their feet into the sand so they have good firm footing, so they don't slide around at all, and then try to swing the club with their arms and keep their lower body quiet so they don't get any up and down movement, and pick the ball clean out of the bunker.
I do feel that's the biggest problem. I think the other problem for the amateur golfers would be overswinging, trying to hit a ball too far out of the bunker. Now, there are certain times when you have a bunker shot that you can't go for the green because of the lip on the bunker. That's when you have to play the scrambling type golf. Play your percentages, get the ball out in the fairway, then hit your wedge on the green. But he's right, I agree with you on that. The lower part of the body is the key here. Get a nice base, try to eliminate the lower part. Try to eliminate the leg movement here because that's where all the trouble starts. Just take a nice swing at it. It's a very simple shot. Don't be scared just because it's a sand trap. The first thing to do is check the height of the lip so you can pick the club that will get you over it. Next, choke up on the club. Then dig in with your feet for a solid footing. Swing mostly with your arms, keeping the lower body very quiet. Don't overswing. And be sure to hit the ball first before you hit the sand. Chris, what we got here, buddy? Oh, a bunker shot around the green. Another shot that's very difficult for amateur golfers. One is that they get very intimidated, and two, they don't know what they're doing. I'm gonna give you a couple little tips here that's gonna help you get that ball out of this bunker in one swing and not two or three. Are you ready for this?
I sure am.
All right, let me step in here, Parks. Okay. One is I feel that amateur golfers always have a tendency to try to overcut the ball out of the bunkers. What I mean by that is they take the club way outside, and what happens is they come to the inside and miss the ball. And what happens, the ball will plop up in this little area here. Let's take for an example. We're standing here, we got a nice little shot here. The key to it is the grip. Very critical. Where the books don't tell us what to do. The grip, weaken your left hand. Now, the reason why we do this, amateurs always have a tendency here to open the club with their hands. And what happens is, when they cut through, they close down and hit it fat, or they'll scull it over here off to the left. When you weaken your left hand, you're keeping the club face open all the way through the shot here. All right? Left hand under the club. The blade is open. We're going to aim a little bit left of our target. Not to the point to where we have to feel like we're hitting a big fade shot out of here. Take a normal little swing with your left hand. Let the club come back a little more inside, weight on your left side. And that ball is going to pop right out of here for us. Make sense to you?
Makes a lot of sense.
Let me fire this one time, all right? All right, nice stance. Weight to the left side here. And left hand is under the club. All righty. Here's another little thing right back here for us. A downhill bunker shot.
This is a little more difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, the shot's on something like this. Now, you're not going to be able to spin the ball, and I want you to remember that. So you're going to have to let the ball roll to the hole.
Okay.
But it's like hitting a shot off a downhill slope in the fairway. Just move the ball back in your stance. Here, maybe basically off the right foot. Again, using the left hand, keep it under the club, because we're going to have to keep the blade open through the shot and just kind of follow the contour of the bunker.
Okay.
All right? Off the back right foot. The ball will go and roll right on down for you.
That's another great shot.
But don't be scared to hit these bunker shots. All right? They're a very easy shot to be played. But I'm not going to lie to you, it takes a little practice. The key to basic bunker shots is weakening your grip. This will help you keep the club face open throughout the shot. Play the ball in the middle of your stance with your weight favoring your left side. Then just make a nice, easy swing, hitting an inch or two behind the ball. Let your swing follow the contour of the bunker. Use the same weak grip and play the ball back off your right foot and allow for plenty of roll once the ball hits the green. You know, folks, there are some shots that a player just doesn't have. For an example, the dreaded plug shot up underneath the lip. There's not a lot we can do about it. That's where the percentages in golf come into play. Say the pin's back here in the back right of the green like it is. This ball is not going, at its best, more than 10 feet to 15 feet. What are we going to do? Let's take our chances, do a little different. Let's put it out here to the left, get it on the green, and at least have a shot at making a long putt to save our par. Again, the name of the game is to save strokes. Now, basically what we do here is try to play the ball off the back right foot and go into it with a closed face, because we want this ball to come up the face and out of here. And you can hit it as hard as you want. Try to aim at a little spot, maybe no more than a ½ inch behind the ball, to get the ball up and out. All right, here we go. We can't ask for any more. It's one of those shots you wouldn't wish upon your worst enemy. Another little shot that we have here is a dreaded bunker shot with your feet out of the bunker. And what do we do here? Well, the secret to it is to give a little more flex in the knees, bend a little bit more at the waist, and use the whole club. All right, aiming just a little left of your target here. A little more bend here, a little more weight on the left side. Try to eliminate the leg part of the swing, all right? Not too much leg movement here, because what's going to happen when you put a lot of legs in it, you're going to hit the club and the ball very fat here. All right, here we go. Flex the legs. Just take a nice, easy swing. And the ball will come out for you every time. Remember, you're just trying to get the ball out of the bunker, anywhere. Play the ball off your back right foot. Close the club face and swing as hard as you can. Slam the leading edge of the club into the sand about a ½ inch behind the ball. And if you're lucky, the ball will pop out. Lower yourself to the ball with your knees. Also hold the club at the very end of the grip. Be sure to keep your legs out of the shot to avoid hitting the ball fat or thin. Aim left because the ball will squirt to the right on you, and allow the ball to run. What kind of shot we got here, Chuck?
Well, I got a fluffy lie and a big trap in front of me. And it doesn't look like much green.
The trap. Is that what you see?
That's
just
a big
trap.
Yeah, I see the trap.
It's amazing how golf mentally can psych you up like that. Amateur golfers have a tendency, that's the first thing they see is the trouble. Not the green, but the trouble that's in front of us. All right, the critical part about this shot is, to me, amateur golfers always have a tendency to tighten up. And what I mean by tighten up is that they'll choke the club to death here. And when you tighten up in your grip, you tighten up your arms, your chest muscles, and it's very difficult to hit this type of shot with very short green and over a bunker when you're real tight. So what all I want you to do is use a light grip. I mean, loosen up on your left hand, not so much on your right, but just the left hand. Loosen up and just take a nice little swing and watch the ball pop right up in the air. You don't have to do anything really crazy. Grip pressure is critical in this shot. All right, think you can do this?
Is that easy?
Yeah, and don't worry about the bunker.
Okay.
It's not even going to come into play.
All right.
All right.
Nice shot, Chuck.
Good shot.
I can
punch
one
your
putt
ball.
from there.
The main factor in hitting this shot correctly is grip pressure. Keep your grip pressure light, especially in the left hand. A few more things that might help you. Set your weight to the left side and open your stance a little bit. Position the ball left of center in your stance. And when you hit through the ball, Keep your left wrist firm. Well, gentlemen, what we have here is a par 3. Very difficult hole. Water in the front, a lot of green to the left, and like most par 3s of this length, about 130-some yards, all troubles in front of the green. Now, what are we going to do? Our main goal is to get the ball over the trouble, right? We agree.
Yep.
Right.
Now, there are some times we play holes where not necessarily do you ever shoot at the hole. And for example, on this hole here, the pin's tucked very short to the front of the green, which is kind of inviting our ball to go into that lake. So let's try to get the ball over and left of the pin and try to save those strokes. All right?
You got it.
All right, Chuck, put her out there. Now, oh, wait a minute, Chuck. Obviously, you didn't hear the old saying. When you have a chance to tee up, tee it up. It only happens in 18 times out here. So tee that ball up.
All right.
All right. This little fade. Oh.
Short.
Oh, I hope you have a nice rain suit. Okay, Bill. Show these guys where the green's at.
What tournament's riding on this?
Now, wait a minute, Bill. Now, what is your typical shot? Is it a right to left? You play right to left?
Straight.
Now, that takes a lot of guts, gents. A straight shot?
Right into the hole.
Right into the hole, all right.
Oh, nice shot, Bill.
No, that's good.
Good shot, Bill.
As advertised.
Pin high.
20 feet to the left of the hole, that's fine. What I'm saying is, I mean, when we're out on the tour and playing holes like this is not a good hole for me because I hit the ball right to left. Now, for a guy like a Lee Trevino who plays a left to right, then you go on and shoot at it. But for me, I've got to play over where you guys hit it there. Just left of the hole. And then take my 20 to 25 footer. And there are times when you're going to make shots like that. You're going to make a putt, make that birdie, but I'm going to be guaranteed of a par. And that's one thing what we want to do is guarantee you don't make 6 or 7. All right, let's go do it. Go. All right, gentlemen, I'll see you. See you in just a moment. You got her. You know, as I was coming across the bridge with my team here, I was just thinking about some shots that maybe possibly you don't know how to hit, and maybe I can help you with. Here's one, a hard pan. Long shots off hard pans are very easy to hit. Anybody can do that. But say we have a little short shot here. It's on a real hard surface, like we have right here. What do? What are our options here as far as a player? What are we trying to accomplish? One is to get the ball on the green. That's the main goal. There's 2 things we can do. We could take a 7 or an 8 iron, 6 iron even, and play a little pitch and run. Now, I prefer to hit a sand wedge. Now, here's the secret to the shot. Most players, especially amateur golfers for some reason, when we say lay the blade open, they try to open the face with their hands here. Now, what happens when they swing, they close down and they hit it fat. Or they'll scull the ball and it'll roll forever. A little tip here. If you ever get in a predicament like this with a shot, take your left hand and make it weaker on the grip. What I mean by is weak. This is my normal grip. Take your left hand and move under the club. Now what we do here is keep the blade open. This will keep the blade open all the way through your shot. That way you cannot close down on it and shut the blade and hit that low fat or the low skull type shot. Use a very light grip. This shot is almost similar to a bunker shot. What I mean by that is your weight is on your left side, your left hand under the club. All right? Just take a nice swing, and the ball will pop right up for you. If you have room to work with, a bump and run shot is the safest shot from the hard pan. But if you can't do that, you may want to try a soft pitch with a sand wedge or pitching wedge. First of all, weaken your left hand grip and set your weight on your left side. Open your stance slightly and swing easy. Don't try to lift the ball. Let the club do the work. How about that? Oh, this Folks, I've got a little shot for you here that might save you 1 or 2 strokes around, or maybe 1 or 2 strokes a week. It's called a little sand wedge shot. Around the greens, I know people have had plenty of these type shots where the ball's rolled right up against the fringe. And they've tried to come in here with like an 8-iron or 7-iron and hit down, and chances are they're going to knock it 10, 15 feet by the hole. Little tip for you. Take your sand wedge and use the leading edge of the club. Now, I prefer a putter grip, putting type grip, which is my little index finger outside here. Take your normal putting stance, keep the blade up, and what you want to do is try to hit the middle of the ball and roll it out just like a putt. Don't ever put pressure on your club going down behind the ball. What this will do is make that stroke nice and jerky. We'll try to keep it nice and smooth and slow. And the ball will roll right out for you.
Oh, great shot.
Yeah. That'll save you a few shots. For the bellied wedge, use your putting grip and stance. Make sure you don't ground the club or you'll defeat the purpose of the shot. Use your putting stroke. Try to hit the middle of the ball with the leading edge of the club. Chuck, I don't quite understand this. Your ball was the one that's in the hazard down here, but I'm the one that has to play it. Why is that?
Because you know how to hit it.
I like the way you're talking. One thing for sure, you always have to have a good rain suit available when you have to hit shots like this. I'm gonna stroll down here and do this for you.
All right, you go ahead, I'll watch.
Oh, shot savers. Shot savers. This is where we really earn our keeps, when we have shots like this. Now, for most people, they would be scared to death into stepping into the water and hitting a ball out. And you shouldn't, unless at least half the ball is above the surface. Basically, it's like hitting a shot out of a plug lie in a bunker, all right? What we're going to do here, ooh, this is nice and cold and deep. Just choke up on your club. Try to get a nice, big angle here, all right? And pop the ball up and out of here. Here we go.
Great shot, Fuzzy.
Thank you, thank you.
I'm glad
You're gonna pay for my cleaning bill now, I hope. It's a very easy shot. Even if you don't have a good rain suit, you get your clothes all muddy, your club pro will love you when you get in. All right, boys, let's go do her. At least half the ball should be above the surface for you to even attempt this shot. Use your pitching wedge and close the face slightly so the sharp edge can cut through the water. Choke up on the club, make a steep backswing and hit down hard on the back of the ball. Well, Bill, we have a very difficult type shot here. We have to play a big hook. Now, we can't go over the tree. We could have one option would be go back out to the fairway.
Right.
But I think we need to advance the ball down the fairway a little further and try to get it within, say, 100 yards of the green to have a nice, easy pitch. I explained to the folks how you go about hitting a hook on a shot like this.
Well, how I'd go about is I wouldn't really change much from what I'd normally do with a regular shot. I'd take my setup, and I'd aim just slightly right, pick a target just to the right of the tree here where I want to start the ball out. I'd align myself to that point, and then what I would do is I would just toe that club in just a little bit, get it to hook towards the flag, and then I would take my grip. And the reason I take my grip last is because a lot of people put their grip on regular and then try to toe the club face in, and it weakens their grip, and they end up hitting a slice rather than a hook. So again,
well, let's see what you can do with it.
Get myself set, pick my target, just toe that club face in just a little bit, and make my regular swing.
Oh, very nice shot.
Thank you.
Very nice shot. I'm going to show you how great the game of golf is. There is no right and wrong way. You just saw Bill's way of doing it. I do things just a little bit different. I do change my angle to the right of my target. I always have some spot out here to hit to maneuver the ball. I strengthen my grip just a little bit so that when I come through, I can go ahead and flip right on over the toe of the club to make the ball hook. All right? To the right of my target, my right foot is pulled back slightly. The reason is I want my arms to come inside as opposed to going out away from my body. This is going to help me when I get to the ball to turn over on the club. All right, to the right.
Good
And
shot,
back over
Buzz.
to the left. It's not a real difficult shot. Don't be scared to try it. Pick a target to the right of whatever is blocking your line. Align your stance parallel to your new target. Strengthen your grip a little and pull your right foot back a little bit to ensure an inside takeaway. Here are a few extra tips that'll help you with this shot. First, only try it from a decent lie. Move the ball back just a little in your stance so you catch the ball first. Take one less club than the distance calls for, since you'll be closing the face through impact. And finally, play the shot to land short of the green because it's going to run on you. Well, Bill, we showed where your tee shot was on the left side, trying to hit a hook back to the green. I've pushed my tee shot over in the right. Now I'm confronted with an entirely different problem here. I have to hit a big fade.
Okay.
Now let me explain to you what I do. Basically, all I do is open my stance and my left hip left of my target. All right, golf is difficult. Everybody has their own little way here. Choke my club just a little bit and try to hit to the inside of the golf ball. Now I do take the club a little bit more to the outside to get me more of a chop motion to the inside of the ball. And that's basically all there is to it. Open to the inside and cut the ball right back to the right. See what you can do here.
Okay.
Show the people the different ways of hitting hooks and fades.
Well, I would fade the ball much the same way I hooked it on the last shot, where I would take my normal stance and my normal grip, and I too would just aim slightly left of where I want the ball to end up. Before I set my hands on the club, I'm going to just open that club face just slightly and then swing away.
Nice shot.
Thank you.
Open your feet and hips in relation to where you want the ball to finish up. Feel like you're taking the club back outside of the target line. Hit the inside of the ball. A few more pointers on this shot. Take one more club than the distance calls for. Move the ball slightly forward in your stance and allow for some run, but not as much as with the hook. Well, Chris, once again, you've put it over here where it's interesting.
I'll tell you what, though, Fuzz, you know you only go around once, and I'm going for this.
Well, you know, the way I look at it, you can get your 21 handicap by taking your options. Now, your one option is you could put your back out here to the fairway, or you could go for the green, and I think that's the shot. Now, the secret to the shot is not try to hit it hard.
Right.
Back down a couple clubs, move the ball back in your stance a little bit with your hands forward, but don't try to hit it hard. That's what keeps the ball down. The harder you hit down on that ball, the higher that ball's going, and chances are we'll get eaten by this tree. So just relax, lay the ball back, hands a little forward. Wait a minute, let me climb out of here. I'll tell you one thing I noticed while you were hitting here. Now, most amateurs probably do the same thing. Everybody comes in here and they're on pine needles. Pine needles are difficult. You watch the better players in the world, they'll walk in, never ground their club. Now, the reason being is they don't want that ball to move, because if that ball moves, it is a stroke penalty, all right? So that's the reason why these guys never ground their club. Just play it back just a little bit, nice and easy.
Great shot,
You can
Fuzz.
put it right up on the green.
Great shot.
Make sure you choose a club that will keep the ball under the tree limbs. Then play the ball back in your stance with your hands slightly ahead of the ball. Choke down a bit on the club, and don't swing too hard. Two things to remember if your ball is on pine needles. Don't ground your club because the ball might move. Second, hang on firmly with your left hand to keep the club face from skidding open. Now we have a shot here that is probably the most difficult of all. This is where the imagination in golf really comes about. A ball laying right next to a tree, shooting to the hole that's behind you. We have three options, really. You have one, where the ball's right next to the tree here. You could possibly get to it this way. But being the ball is so far forward up in the tree, the second option would be to hit it what I consider bass-ackwards, which is there is no right and wrong club for this shot. You can do it with a 9, preferably a middle iron, to toe it up. I prefer the putter. All right?
Okay.
Play the ball off the back part of your heel. Bring the club up abruptly so that we can pop down to get the ball to go toward our target, which happens to be behind us here.
Right.
All right. Remember now, back heel. The reason being is strokes. If it hits you, it's 2 strokes. We're trying to save shots here.
Right.
All right, here we go. Now your other option would be, Al, not only with the putter, but take like a medium iron, 7 or 8 iron, 6 iron even, and hit her left-handed. Now we're not trying to get the ball close. What we're trying to do is just get the ball on the green to get a putt at what we're our 5 or even our 4.
Right.
I prefer a putting grip, all right? Now again, our object, Al, is to get the ball on the green to save a stroke.
Right.
All right. It's not bad.
That's a great shot.
That really wasn't
Great
that bad
shot.
a shot, was it?
Hey, we'll take it.
Got another little option here that sometimes, maybe once in a million times of playing golf or in a million years, or maybe once in your lifetime, you'd have to use this shot. But there is one other type of shot we can play here, where the ball is directly up against the tree to where we can't get to it backwards or around it, left-handed or whatever. Hold that for me. Take a club like a 6 or a 7 iron, 5 iron. I prefer like a 6 on this one, and bank it off the tree. Now again, what we're trying to do is just get the ball basically back out into our area to where we can save strokes, all right? Hit it just a little hard and just let the ball bounce back on the green. If you're up against a tree and don't have a swing, you can play 1 or 2 shots. You can stand with your back to your target and the ball positioned beyond your right heel. Use your putter and pick the club up with your wrist and chop down on the back of the ball. If you prefer to play the shot left-handed, use a mid-iron with the toe facing the ground. Take a left-handed putting grip and put a smooth putting stroke on the ball. And be sure to keep your wrist out of this shot. If your ball is directly between the tree and the hole and you can hit it normally, take a mid-iron and play a bank shot. Pick a spot on the tree and hit the ball a little harder than you would a chip from the same distance. Al, you've done it again. What a fine position to leave a golf shot.
Great spot, huh?
Here we are on a mountain. Let's put a 45-degree slope with a pin cut very close to the edge of the green. Now, what do?
Couldn't ask
You have a few options here. I mean, one is that you could putt it. You could take your sand wedge and roll it, or you could play it with a sand wedge to hit a nice little soft lob. Now, we're not trying to hit the ball on the green. All we're trying to do is let it carry partway down the hill and bounce on.
Okay.
All right? Now, secret to these shots. One is not to choke the club. Use a very light grip. And what I mean by light is let that club be as light in your hand as possible.
Okay.
All right? 2, play the ball on your back right foot. Now, they say to keep your hands forward, okay? Now, the way to do this without getting all awkward here is to just move your weight to your left side. That'll move your hands forward. And then what we try to do is pick the club abruptly, right straight up the hill, and just drop it down. And the secret to it is, again, don't choke the club. Amateurs, for some reason, they always have a tendency when they stand on these shots is to lean into the hill with their hands back here. And when they swing, they move into the ball, and that's what causes that belly shot, the one that goes rolling over the green, and then you hear all kind of good language. All right, here we go. We're going to give it a little try. Back of the right foot. Weight on your left side, which puts your hands forward, a light grip. The ball will roll right down there for you.
Oh, great shot.
Play the ball off your back foot and let your weight go naturally to your left side with the hill. This will also force your hands forward, exactly where you want them. Keep your grip pressure light and just carry the ball to the fringe where it meets the rough. The slope will take over from there. I've done it again. What a position to have a ball. On the side of a mountain here, have to go over a hazard, which is a sand trap in this case, up over another hill into a very short pin. What do? It's where the imagination in golf comes, and this is where the scrambling part of golf is. Preferably, because the hill is so severe, use a club that has a little loft. Preferably an 8-iron, which in this case is going to come out similar to like a 6-iron. So get a little loft on your club. Our goal is to get this ball on that green. Pick a spot into the hill to where you want this ball to hit. Just kind of imagine where it's going and imagine how hard you have to hit it. Play the ball off the back right foot. Weight on your left side and choke up on the club. It's not a bad shot. Like I say, our main goal was to get the ball over the hump and on the green. Bottom line is saving strokes. Take an 8-iron and play the ball back off your right foot. Pick a spot midway up the bank. Choke up on the club and hit the ball first. Don't worry about following through. Sometimes this shot will come off. Chuck, we've had a marvelous day out here at the golf course, but you have left yourself a very, very long and difficult type putt. As an amateur, what are you thinking right now?
I'm just thinking of trying to get it close, Fuzzy.
Now we have about a 100-foot putt with about an 8 to 10-foot break. The object is not so much the line, but the distance is kind of the key to this. Try to imagine getting the ball into that 6-foot circle up around the hole, and you've hit a good putt from there. Go ahead, Chuck.
All right.
It's good, Chuck. No? A little long.
Chuck, that wasn't a bad putt.
Thanks.
Let me see if I can do just a little better.
Okay. Oh, great putt, Fuzz.
Well, thank you.
Great putt, Fuzzy.
Thanks, Chuck. That is the reason right there why I do it for a living.
I can see.
Golf is tough, very tough. Scrambling's part of the game. Let's hope they've learned something today. Saving strokes in golf. It's a little different than bowling. Bowling, you go for high score. Golf, we go for low score. All the shots we've shown you are trouble shots. Shots you can hit and try to save strokes with. But most of them are not shots you would practice on a practice tee and or the putting green. So make sure when you practice, try them while you're out playing with your partners on the weekend or your wife, and try to save the strokes. The game of golf is tough. Scrambling is part of the game. Enjoy the game. Let me go ahead and knock this in.
I think you can make it.
You know, if I was in Indiana, boys, they'd give me this.
Who's the way, you or me, Al?
Nice putt, Chris. That was a weak deal, huh?
I just wanted to get up and down.
Well, wait a minute. What do you?
They gave
Oh,
me
we'll
that.
give it. Oh, they gave it to you. I heard the guy in the background give it to you. Ooh. Another 3-putt. Golf could be your life. Do you need about a $90,000 write-off?
Yeah, I can do that.
We're trying to save strokes.
I'm bowling.
Now you're bowling. Oh, it's a weak deal, isn't it? Your day job. Don't ever give it up. Okay, put it right in. Oh! Oh! One of those. You know what they call that? A mystery putt. We'll never know. We'll never know. All right, gentlemen. Enjoyed it. Another fine day at the links, as they say. We survived, didn't hurt anybody.
We could have got you another one.
Huh? To the 19th.
Your buddies that see this are going to say, wait a minute.